Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I have another edition of my 30 and 30. This is going to be highlighters. There's a big mix in here. There's drugstore, there's high-end, a little bit of everything, and some sample sizes as well. I'm just going to jump right in because there are 30 highlighters to talk about. This first one is from Estate. This is the Do Me highlighter in the shade Lit. I got this in an Ipsy bag, and it is a baked highlighter, so it's supposed to be even more glowy than other ones. So that's what it looks like, and then we'll swatch it. It is very pretty. I liked it. It was a good glowy color and just a pretty good shade for my skin tone as well. Next one that I tried is another, well, is a drugstore. It is Candy Cane Heart by Makeup Revolution. This is a gorgeous highlighter. It looks very pretty. This one I do like to swirl so that you get kind of a pinky look with it. And it might be a little dark for some people. You might think it's a little dark for me, but I just like highlighter for the shimmer aspect of it. It's not so much that it has to be lighter than my skin tone, because basically I would just be putting white on me if I did that. So that one is very nice. I do like that one. It came in a pack of 5, so you're gonna see all 5 of them over the course of this video. The next one is Apple Cinnamon Heart, and it is a little darker. This is the one that I'm not quite as sure about, whether I should keep it or not. I did like it, but it wasn't, I feel like it should be too dark on my skin, but I'm not quite sure. So let me adjust my lights a little bit. So there is what it looks like. It's down here. It actually kind of blends into my skin pretty well, so I think I will keep it. It was the one that I was on the fence about. Next is from Too Faced. This is a sample size. This is the Too Faced Candlelight Glow in the shade Rosy Glow. And that's what it looks like. It has those 2 shades in there, the pink and the white. It's really pretty. I love this one. If you want something that's going to really blend into your skin but just like look like a glow, that's what this one is. It is definitely probably the most natural looking one of the group that blends in the best. I know, I told you I was going to have several of these. Marzipan Heart is next. This one, oh my gosh, I love the way it looks with that marbled finish in there. So pretty. It's a really light one as well. So this one is going to be more of that light that shows in. So you can kind of see some of them blend into my skin a lot better than others, but those are the first 5. So those first 5 I feel really blend into the skin pretty well. Like I said, the Too Faced definitely blends in better than the Revolution, but the Estate really blends in well too. This is probably one of my favorite highlighters. This is the Lancome, and it is Glowing Lights. And this is like a super shot kind of formula, like you would find in with ColourPop. I couldn't think of the name of the company. And this one I have hit pan, but this does like move around a lot. So you're gonna find like when you're working with it that it moves around a bit. That's what it looks like. It is so gorgeous, and it blends in just absolutely beautifully. I really love this one, and when it goes, I'm going to be very, very sad. I will tell you that right now because I already want to figure out a way to get a backup of it. Then we're moving on to Becca. This is Prismatic Amethyst. It's an unusual color. So if you want something that is not going to be quite as expected as some of the other ones, this is the color for you. It is beautiful. It has kind of that shift to it, but it's going to be super light. So if you want something super light, but that has a gorgeous gleam to it, that's going to be a little unusual, that's this color. It's going to have just a little bit of pinky, not pinky, but like a purpley color to it. So that's that one. All right, sorry, I've been playing with my lights a little bit. I'm not sure what the best light is to see all of this. Next is Lilac Geode, also by Becca. This is also a more unusual shade if you want something more on the purpley side. It's going to be more in your face though, because it definitely has more of a presence. So that's what it looks like. You're gonna see that it's just a little bit darker, a little bit more pinky than the purple one that's above it. But all of them really in the light are looking pretty similar, which is kind of unusual. Anyway, I'm not getting rid of any of those. Next is a Tarte Amazonian Clay highlighter. This is in the shade Exposed. I have a couple of these, you'll see. This is a gorgeous highlighter too. The thing I don't like about it is that it moves around in the pan. So as you're like working with it, it moves because it's a magnetized pan and you can take it out. That's one thing that bothers me about it. But this one, my only note was so pretty. It just really just looks beautiful on the skin. Like that's what stands out about it. It's just an absolutely beautiful color, looks fantastic, and really blends in. I think that some of the darker shades would be good for those who have darker skin tones, but I love the Tarte highlighters. We have one more Becca in this bunch. This is Champagne Flashes Bellini, and it's supposed to have like a duochrome kind of effect to it. I'm not really sure if I get that. It's getting a little bit of hard pan on it too. I'm not going to declutter it, but that's one thing that I found with these rather than the regular Becca ones. It has more of a hard pan on it. It's down here. I don't even know if you can see it. Let's see. It's kind of picking it up. It's not really picking it up very well. So it's another one that's more subtle. I'm gonna keep it. It's not as beautiful, I feel, as the other ones that I've talked about, but it's still there and it's still a nice enough highlighter, but it's definitely not as spectacular as some of the other ones. All right, moving on, we have Ofra. It's so white, it doesn't want to pick it up usually. This is the shade Pillow Talk. So it's probably my favorite of all the Ofra highlighters because it is just this gorgeous pinky, like light pinky, like bam in your face, really going to highlight everything. As you can see, like you can definitely see it. Some of the other ones are a lot more subtle. This one is not really a subtle highlight at all. Like I would not call it a subtle highlight at all. This is one that I was on the fence about decluttering. I wasn't quite sure if I was going to keep it or not. This is the Lorac highlighter in Limelight. It was part of their like Beauties Who Brunch collection, I think. And it is blue. Like it definitely has that blue to it. You're going to see it underneath. It still has like a slight blue shift to it, but it really does blend in pretty well. So it is not like just a stripe of blue, which some of the more crazy highlighters that I have do that. So I decided to keep it because it's a little bit more subtle for a blue highlighter than other highlighters that I have. Probably wondering when I'm going to get around to decluttering some. There are some that I'm decluttering. Don't worry, it's coming. Next is an Ofra collaboration with Madison Miller. This is the shade Moon Dance. I got it in my Ipsy as an add-on. I think it was $12, but you can buy it on the site of Ofra, I'm pretty sure as well. It's really light. So as you can see, this one just has a more pinky shade. This one's just a little bit more stark. So if you want something more stark and not quite so pinky of a highlighter, I think Moon Dance would be a good one. I really love Ofra highlighters. They're some of my favorite formulas. So I think I would recommend any of the Ofra highlighters, to tell you the truth. All right, moving on, we have another Tarte. This is the shade Stunner. I said I love the scent and the formula. They do have like that vanilla-y scent that Tarte blush or Tarte highlighters are really known for, and a lot of their products have like that kind of scent to it, and it's going to be like really beautiful as well. I know, I love highlighters, guys. Highlighters are my hardest thing to declutter, but this one is really pretty. Like I said, I like it. This one is probably one of the most famous highlighters that is out there. This is Ofra Rodeo Drive. This is the older packaging. I got this in an Ipsy as well, and I actually got several others. If it is still October, if you go to my September haul video, you're gonna see that I was giving away an Ofra Rodeo Drive highlighter. So if you want one and you're watching this in October, I don't know if I'll get this up before the end of October. If I don't, I'm sorry. But it's a lovely highlighter. You can't really even see it on my skin with the lights. You can kind of see it. It's just, let's see if I can swatch it again over here. Does it show up more? Yeah, it doesn't really show up with my lights. I apologize, but it is a gorgeous one. Once again, it's a lovely formula. I love the Ofra highlighters, as I've said several times today. I feel like my hands are gonna be a little raw by the time this is over because I was brilliant and forgot to pick up more makeup remover wipes for filming because I used my last ones yesterday. So I am washing my hands in between swatches. And I do have like damp cloths over here to wipe to clean off my fingertips, but this takes a lot more effort. Next is from IBY Beauty. This is the shade Private Jet. I was really nervous about this because when I saw it in my Ipsy reveal, it looked so dark and I was like, and this is way lighter than they showed it on my Ipsy reveal. So yes, I got this in my Ipsy. I think it's actually a pretty color and the formula looks pretty, it works pretty well. Am I like in love with it? No. Will I use it? And is it nice to take like when I'm going somewhere and I'm worried about things breaking? Yes, like that's not one that I would be devastated with if it breaks. That's for sure. Next is from Smashbox, and this is with a collaboration with the Hood Witch, which I don't know who that is, but it's the crystallized highlighter in Optimistic. And it's gorgeous. Like the packaging is fantastic. The coloring is really pretty. But I find the same thing with this one that I found last year with the rose gold one, which was also the packaging just stunning. It's there. It has kind of chunk. It's a little chunky. Like there's actual glitter in it. It's fine glitter, but it doesn't like melt into your skin the same way that some of the other ones do. And there's actually a later highlighter that I'm going to talk about that I feel like is basically the same as that, but much more beautiful, and it fades into your skin better without like looking glittery. So stay tuned for that one. Back to my Revolution hearts. This is Snowflake hearts. This was a set of 5 that were all holiday themed that I picked up for like 15 bucks, which is why I picked it up, because like I love highlighters and I have one of these. I had one of these before and I really liked it. This one is a little bit more chunky than the other ones that I've talked about, so it's gonna have more obvious glitter in it. But that being said, it is that icy, beautiful highlighter. So if you're fair skinned, this will be a really good one for you. Unfortunately, yes, you have to get all of the others in that set too, which is the only bummer about it. But I do think it's pretty. It's not my favorite. Like Marzipan Heart of the collection of 5, Marzipan is going to be my favorite of all of them. This is my least favorite, and this is the one that's getting decluttered because it's just way too dark. This is Gingerbread Heart, and these are all baked highlighters, by the way, too. That's what it looks like. It's just, it's so dark on the skin. When I got it, I was like, oh, yeah, it's not even really a blush. It's too orangey brown for me. So that one is being decluttered. This is the first of my highlighters that is being decluttered, the Gingerbread Heart. And they don't have a scent to them either. So in case you were wondering, because most of them are based on like a Christmas holiday type scent, they don't have scent to them. They're not scented, so don't worry about that. 2/3 of the way done almost. This next one is a Revolution Heart. This is the shade Goddess of Love. This is a triple baked highlighter. This is the one that I got before that I was just really impressed with and just really love. Like, look at how beautiful that is just on the finger. And it applies beautifully. It looks so gorgeous on the skin. I really like this one. This is a better formula, I think, than the set of 5 that I got. There's still some pretty ones in there, but that one is definitely just a little bit more special than the other ones. All right, next up is from Morphe. I got this in an Ipsy bag, a plus bag, and this is the shade Extra. I don't think it's anything special. It's just like a good staple highlighter, I guess. And I probably should let this one go. I'm not going to, but it's just, it's there, it's pretty, it's just, I said there's nothing overly special about it. Like, that was literally what I wrote about it, because I do take notes on, I write down every one that I use and my notes about each one of them. So that's what I'm referring to every once in a while when I glance down. So yeah, Morphe, just nothing really special about it. Not bad, but not like spectacular either. Same with this one. This is a cargo highlighter in the shade Bronze. And it's just a little darker than the Morphe one and just a little less shimmery. Like, I don't even know if you can barely see it there. So that's what it looks like. I'm gonna let this one go. It's just, I'm not loving it, and there's nothing that's like, oh, about it. Like the Morphe, I'm like, yeah, that looks pretty on. That one doesn't even look that pretty on my skin tone. Like, it probably looks better on darker skin tones than me, but yeah, I'm letting that one go too. Wet n Wild, this is Everlasting Glow. This is one of the rainbow highlighters. They did 3 of them. I have 2. The other one I'll talk about later on in another video. So this is what it looks like. It does like have lots of fallout. I don't know if you can even like see the fallout, but there's like sparkles everywhere. And that's what it looks like. It looks really pretty on the finger, but when you put it on, it just looks a little chunky, a little too glittery. So I'm letting this one go as well. It just, there's so many better formulas from Wet n Wild, ones that I just really love. And this one I'm like, I don't really love it. It's not that great to me. So I'm letting that one go. Then we have from Essence, this is Glow Like a Mermaid, and this is a really subtle highlighter. Like, you look at those colors and you're like, ugh, that seems like going to be a little crazy. But this is actually pretty subtle on the skin. It's not going to be like overly glowy. So if you're at work and you don't want something that's like bam in your face, that's what this one is. Like, you can't even really see it on my skin. It just has such a subtle lightness about it that you're not going to notice it, and it's not going to be like, oh, she's wearing highlighter today, which is what usually my skin looks like, because I do like to glow. That's a good one for like work. All right, our last few. So I said that Hood Witch, I had a better one that looks almost exactly the same but without the glitter. That's from Too Faced. This is the Diamond Light Highlighter, and I do keep, this is like the only highlighter that I kept the outer packaging for, because it looks like a ring box within a ring box, and it's just so pretty. Like, that's really the only reason. So this is what it looks like. You've probably seen this. It's gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Just like all those different shades within it. Just look at that. I mean, it just is bam right there, but it blends in and looks so smooth and beautiful on the skin. Like, that's why I love it, because it does just blend in and just looks so pretty. So this one might have taken, this is going to probably be one of my top 10 highlighters, and obviously I have a lot because this is 30 and this is like, I have at least probably 2 more videos worth of highlighters. The one I'm currently working on, which you'll see sometime because I just barely started it, I grabbed all of my highlighters, and it's a third of it's Wet n Wild, a third of it's Becca. I could probably do just a Becca and Wet n Wild one, but I do have other ones mixed in there too. All right, next is from Ofra. This is the shade Blissful. This is my least favorite of all the Ofra blushes. Like, I don't know if you can tell, probably not. There's a lot of fallout with this one. It's a little bit more, it's not as easy to work with of a formula. So that's what it looks like. It does have more glitter to it. Like, it still is beautiful. Ofra always has beautiful formulas, but this one is definitely a more glowy highlighter than like Rodeo Drive or Pillow Talk or any of the other ones. This is the only loose highlighter that I have in this go. I don't know if I have any other. I did like a huge thing about highlighters earlier this year. You can watch that too, and there's just a huge mix. I don't think I had any. I think the only other one I have that's loose is from Wet n Wild, and that's one of my favorite highlighters too. Anyway, this is from Artist Couture. This is the shade Illuminati. This is one that you want to use very sparingly because it's just, there's so much here. And it's very pretty, but it is very, like there, I just tapped my finger into, oh wow, now I have it loose. I was trying to avoid that, but that's one that you don't want to get around. That's what it looks like. It has such a presence. It's gorgeous. It really is gorgeous. I got that one in a BoxyCharm. That's the reason I heard of Artist Couture in the first place. I know that they're now sold in Sephora, but I probably wouldn't buy another one just because loose powders are so much more messy than a pressed powder. But yeah, that one's gorgeous. It's very, very nice. All right, Wet n Wild. This is I'll Have a Cosmo. This was originally part of a Fergie collaboration, I guess. I don't have those, but I've heard that they were. And this is a gigantic highlighter. I mean, this is huge. If you look at this compared to like an Ofra pan, like it's even bigger than Ofra. It's a little hard to like just keep in your collection because it's so big, but it's that Wet n Wild, gorgeous, amazing formula that I just love. It has more of a pinky shade to it. It's a great one. I would wear this to work. Like, well, I did wear it to work, but you can't really see it. It's so not as blinding as these ones, but it's really beautiful. Take my word for it. I really like it. I'm not sure if it's still available, to tell you the truth. I found that one like in a random on the aisle kind of thing. I think you can still buy a lot of their stuff, but you just can't buy it in store all the time. Two more. This is from Vintage by Jessica Liebeskin. And this was in a BoxyCharm, one of my very first BoxyCharms actually. This is the Rose Gold highlighter. It's very pink. It looks like a blush in here. Really, it does look like a blush. That's what it looks like. It's really pretty. It's one that you want to use kind of sparingly. Hang on, I'm going to wash and try to like show you those two. See if it shows. Hopefully you can see them a little bit better. I think they show up a little bit better at the top of my hand than the bottom for some reason. But even that Jessica doesn't show up quite as much as that Wet n Wild. Like I said, I love Wet n Wild highlighters. I think they're fantastic. Very last one. This is from Mally Beauty. This is the shade Stardust. This was part of a set of two. It had a blush with it as well, like a peachy blush. And this one, like, there's so much fallout everywhere. That's one thing I don't like about it. But it is really pretty. I was impressed. I didn't know what to think about Mally Beauty because I don't really have much from them at all. But I really did like that one. All right. So I decluttered three highlighters. So Wet n Wild, Cargo, and Revolution. I mean, the point of these is not really to declutter anything. I think I am going to declutter the Morphe one though, just because like it's not my favorite and I have so many. Like I easily have over 100 highlighters, and so just to let somebody else get that one I think would be fine. the point of these are not to so much declutter as to kind of like just test them out and see and make sure everything's still working, because every once in a while something goes bad. I just had one of my lipsticks go bad and I was like, it smells like crayons now. It was very sad because I did like it, but I tossed it. You'll see it in an upcoming empties video. But yeah, I didn't declutter a lot. Like I decluttered more in my lipsticks and my blush 30 and 30s. So we'll see. I have another lipstick one that I'm working on currently and another one that I'm working on for highlighters. So we'll see what happens with those. Let me know if you've tried any of these highlighters, if any of these look interesting to you, which ones you like, or what are your favorite highlighters. I would love to know that. I don't need more highlighters, but I'm probably gonna buy more highlighters because I love highlighters. Anyway, I hope you are all having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for sticking around, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.